Brief history of Hanal Pixan. In the framework of the Day of the Dead festivities, many places are preparing to commemorate Hanal Pixan, a tradition deeply rooted in the Mayan culture of the region. Today, we had the opportunity to speak with Gladis Tun, who tells us the history of Hanal Pixan.
La palabra Hanal Pixan originalmente se deriva de la palabra
The word Hanal
Hanal
Pixan is
Pixano,
originally
que
derived from the
significa
Hanal
comida para las
Pixano,
ánimas.
which
Es la
means food for
manera
souls.
correcta de hacerlo.
This
Sin
is the correct way to
embargo,
do it.
en la
However,
ciudad de
in the city
Mérida
of
se le
Merida, it is
llama
called Hanal
Hanal
Pixan and they
Pixan
write
y
it
lo
with an
escriben
H.
con H.
The correct
La
way is with a
forma
J.
correcta es con J y significa comida para las ánimas.
This tradition, originating in Yucatan and extended to Quintana Roo and Campeche, has become a way to preserve and share the cultural and gastronomic wealth of the region. Janal Pixan is not simply a celebration to honor the deceased, but an act that symbolizes respect for the cycles of life and death according to the Mayan worldview. Contrary to popular belief, the Mayans did not worship death, but rather understood it as a natural part of the life cycle. The preparation and burial of the traditional mukbil pollo, a tamale ritually prepared in underground ovens, symbolizes this process of rebirth in which it is believed that what is buried is reborn. In La Perlita, the family remains faithful to ancestral customs, preparing this dish in a traditional way in a pibil oven known as Cocina Pibil Don Jose. There, using special firewood and heat-resistant stones, the mukbil pollo is buried in the ground, evoking the ancient Mayan practice. This process is not only a reflection of the region's gastronomy, but also a manifestation of the worldview that is still alive in today's Mayan communities. It is worth noting that the term pib in Mayan means to bake, and from there comes the correct way to call this dish, pibil waj, since saying only pib can cause confusion when referring to the oven instead of the food. The preparation of mukbil pollo, also known as pibil waj, has evolved with the arrival of colonization, where originally wild animals such as birds and wild boars were used, but today domestic pigs and birds are used. At La Perlita, the production of these ingredients is done completely organically at the Integral Ranch, where they raise their own animals and grow the herbs, vegetables, and leaves necessary for the preparation. Beyond the food, the preparation for Janal Pixan is a process that begins months in advance. The women of the community embroider tablecloths and napkins by hand to decorate the tables on which the food offered to the deceased is placed. The traditional altars of the Quintana Roo region are simple, consisting of a basic table with candles and offerings. In addition to mukbil pollo, in some areas of Quintana Roo and Valladolid, chachacuac is prepared, a smaller version of tamale, also cooked in an underground oven. This type of tamale, although simpler in presentation, preserves all the ingredients and the essence of the Mayan tradition. This Day of the Dead, in many places, will be an opportunity to share and celebrate the Mayan heritage, where gastronomy and culture converge in a festivity full of meaning and respect for the souls of those who have passed away. If you are interested in trying this dish in a completely organic version of the traditional mukbil pollo, you can contact the website of La Perlita or any of the many other restaurants and kitchens that will offer it. These days, Cozumel For You joins in the diffusion of local traditions.